as an economic thinker, as a writer, as a podcaster, what do you think about Clubhouse? What do you think about? Okay, let me just throw my feeling about it. I used to use Discord, which is another service where people use voice. So the only thing you do is just hear each other. There's no face. You just see a little icon. That's the essential element of Clubhouse. And there's an intimacy to voice only communication that's hard. That didn't make sense to me, but it was just what it is, which feels like something that won't last for some reason. Maybe it's the
Yeah,
cynical view, but what's your sense about the intimacy of what's happening right now with Clubhouse?
I've greatly enjoyed what I've done, but I'm not sure it's for me in the long run for two reasons.
Hmm.
First, if you compare it to doing a podcast, podcasting has greater reach than Clubhouse. So I would rather put time into
Yes.
my podcast. But then also, my like core asset, so to speak, is I'm a very fast reader. So audio per se is not necessarily to my advantage. I don't
Mm.
speak or listen faster than other people. In fact, I'm a slower listener because I like 1.0, not 1.5x. So I should spend less time on audio and more time reading and writing.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you mentioned podcasts and audiobooks. I, the podcasts are recorded, and so I can skip things. Like I can skip commercials, or I can skip parts where it's like, ugh, this part is boring. With live conversations, especially when there's a magic to the fact when you have a lot of people participating in that conversation, but some people are like, ugh, this topic, they're going into this thing, and you can't skip it, or you can't fast forward. You can go 1.5x or 2x. You can't speed it up. Nevertheless, there's a tension between that. So that's the productivity aspect with the actual magic of live communication, where anything can happen, where Elon Musk can ask the CEO of Robinhood, Vlad, about like, hey, somebody like holding a gun to your head, there's something shady going on. The magic of that. That's also my criticism of like, there's been a recent conversation with Bill Gates that he went on a platform and had basically a regular interview on the platform without allowing the possibility of the magic of the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not exactly sure. It's probably not the right platform for you and for many other people who are exceptionally productive in other places, but there's still nevertheless a magic to the chaos that could be created with live conversation that gives me pause.
Maybe what it's perfect for is the tribute. So they had an episode recently that I didn't hear, but I heard it was wonderful. It was anecdotes about Steve Jobs.
Hmm.
That you can't do one to one, right? And you don't want control. You want different people appearing and stepping up and saying their bit.
Yeah,
And Clubhouse is 110% perfect for that. The tribute.
I love that, the tribute. But there's also the possibility, I think there was a time when somebody arranged a conversation with Steve Jobs and Bill Gates on stage, right? I remember that happened a long time ago. And, it was very formal. You know, it could have probably gone better, but it was still magical to have these people that obviously like had a bunch of tension throughout their history. It's so frictionless to have two major figures in world history just jump on a Clubhouse stage.
Putin and Elon Musk. Let's
Putin and
see if it
Elon Musk.
happens.
And that's exactly it. So there's a language barrier there. There's also the problem that, in particular, it's like Biden would have a similar problem. It's like they're just not into new technology. So it's very hard to catch the Kremlin up to, first of all, Twitter.
Right.
But to catch them up to Clubhouse, you have to have Elon Musk has a sense of the internet, the humor, the memes, and all that kind of stuff that you have to have in order to like use a new app and figure out like the timing, the beat. What is this thing about? So that's the challenge there. But that's exactly it. That magic of have two big personalities just show up, and I wonder if it's just a temporary thing that we're going through with the pandemic, where people are just lonely and they're seeking for that human connection that we usually get elsewhere through our work.
But they'll stay lonely, in my opinion.
You think so?
I do. So it is a pandemic thing, but I think it will persist. And the idea of wanting to be connected to more of the world, Clubhouse will still offer that. And all the mental health issues out there, A lot of people have broken ties, and they will still be lonely post vaccines.